How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to make a video that shows you how to properly set your steering offset in iRacing so you have it perfect and don't have to struggle with an off-center steering wheel when you're trying to go down a straightaway. And one of the first things we want to do before we even get started is verify that our wheel is calibrated properly. So first thing we want to do is go into our control panel for our wheel. Properties, and we'll wait for that guy to come up. He takes a second or so. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that our wheel is centered. And if you look over here, there's a little graph, or kind of like a little gauge. It shows the exact wheel position according to the driver software. So what we want to do, in fact, I actually recommend doing this, and I've done it myself, is I'll turn this until it comes up to 50%, right on the money. And then I'll take a piece of tape and put it on the steering wheel, right where it attaches to the wheelbase. And I'll put another piece of tape directly above that, and so they line up so I can see exactly when the wheel is in the center position. And we want to make sure we got that as close to center as we can get it. Like that. Make sure it's at 50%. Click OK. Click OK on that. You want to make sure you always close out that game controller properties before you load iRacing, because it can make the thing do some strange crap. Then we'll go ahead and load up our test drive session. We're going to be doing this in the trucks at Kansas, but this will work pretty much anywhere on any car, as far as I know anyway. So we'll wait for a second here while this decides to load up. Okay, now that we're back here in iRacing and we've loaded up into the sim, first thing we want to do is we want to go to our garage, go to chassis, and then make sure that we have our steering offset set to 0 degrees. And then click done. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go out and drive about 3 or 4 laps while we have telemetry logging on. That way we can record what all of the telemetry from the truck is doing. And what we're going to do is just go out and take us about 3 or 4 laps. 2 or 3 laps. Actually, that's all we need to do, is about 2 or 3 laps. That way we get enough information in the log file that we can see what's going on. Okay, so that's 3 laps. That should be able to get us enough information to do what we need to do here. So we'll go back to the pits. Alright, we got back to the pits, so let's turn off telemetry. And then we're going to go over and get into a program called Motec. And this, you'll need this in order to see what's actually going on with the truck. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and grab our telemetry file. And right now we see the areas we want to pay attention to is the chassis front steering offset. That's what we currently have it set in iRacing right now in the garage. And this is our steering wheel angle for wherever we're actually at on the racetrack here. So we're going to drag this over to the back straight. Somewhere about in the middle of the back stretch, right there is good, I suppose. Actually, what I'll do is just drag this all the way down and kind of get a feel for exactly where, if this is where we're coming off the corner. We're now in the straightaway. It looks like about 6 or 7 degrees is probably going to be about where we want it. And what we do is we set our offset to whatever the steering wheel angle is when we're in the straightest part of the racetrack. So we'll set that to, we'll set it to 7. It don't have to be exactly right on the money, but it's close is good enough. So let's go ahead and go into the garage and set that to 7. +7. Apply. Now we'll go out and we'll run and just verify that our wheel is centered. Now I know you can't see my wheel, so you're just going to have to take my word for it, but you might be able to see it over there on my little wheel graphic that's on the shifter pedal indicator thing. We'll take a lap and then go down the back straight and see exactly what our wheel looks like. Most tracks you might want to do this on the back straight except for Chicagoland, because Chicagoland's got that radius backstretch. And you want to try to get your readings and everything when you're on the straightest part of the racetrack. Kansas got a pretty straight backstretch, so. And my wheel right now is perfectly centered. I can't get it any more centered than that, probably. That should be enough to get us where we need to be. So let's go ahead and I'll show you real quick if you have a workbook that don't have that ability to look at the steering wheel offset and steering angle. So let's go ahead and jump out of here. Then we'll go into Motec here. And the way to do this is all you got to do is just create yourself a worksheet. Like right here, and just right click on it, just shoot new worksheet. And then in here you sit there and you put yourself a track position. So we just go over here to add track position, and that'll give us this. Then we come to the properties and we set the track position. We can leave the caption on so we can see what it means, and then we click OK, and then we have our track position indicator. Then we're going to create what's called a gauge, a numeric gauge. Click that and you'll get one of these that'll pop up. You just right click on it, choose properties, and then you're going to come over here to the channel, click on the little notepad looking thing, and we're going to come down to car setup, chassis, front, steering, offset. Select that and then click OK. And that will give us the information for the actual steering offset that's set in the vehicle. And then we're going to make another one for the steering wheel. We're going to do add, gauge, and there should be one that says steering wheel. You click that, you'll get one of these. And you just right click on it, choose properties, go to steering wheel angle, on the channel. Select steering wheel angle. Click OK. OK again. And then you'll have your steering wheel angle. And just make sure that your other gauge has that showing up as well. Basically, that's all you have to do, and then just go out and run your laps or record the telemetry, and then load up the telemetry. Clicking Add button. Click your file, which is right there. Click Open, and then just drag your cursor around the track and see exactly what your steering wheel angle is, and that's what you'll put in for your offset. And basically, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments, and I'll try to get to them as quickly as I can. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.